Ty já fui na Uprising. Dá-te uma staff trick que eu fiz, né? 20 seconds.
Okay. Disco.
Time's running! Czas beži!
Więc mentalnie wyjdziemy na przykład wolniej sejść, to oni się mentalnie na dół. No nie wiem czy ten materiał ma jakiegoś SPF-a. Coś zawinął. Edgar, chodź po co? Nie ma. Ogo.
Wiesz, że ta... opaska seconds offense!
Hello and welcome back to Trnava. If you haven't watched the previous game, it was quite an exciting one and it was Czech Republic against Poland. This time we're gonna have Czech Republic against Poland once again, but in the open division this time. We have Uprising Ultimate from Poland against Terrible Monkeys from the Czech Republic. I'm Dmitry Doroshenko, very excited to welcome you in this stream and to call on yet another game of the summer tour. These two teams have met before this year, which is interesting. The result of the previous game was in favor of Poland, so Uprising winning the previous game 15-7 on Spring Tour in Pool A, in the pool play in Brno. But this time the result might be different. We know that winning the same team twice is always a very difficult thing. So we will see, of course, how this particular game will progress. But for now, Uprising in white, moving that disc around with a bit of a difficulty, so can't really go past their brick mark. Yeah, still getting there, and of course Terrible Monkey are going to be in dark with that red shorts. Very nice and visible numbers. We like that as commentators, of course. Uprising now, bringing the disc a lot closer to the attacking end zone. The Monkeys are trying to play a bit of a switch, and looks like they have caused a bit of a confusion on the Uprising side, and a very close mark there by Uprising in my opinion, but regardless, it's been worked pretty well. So are we gonna get a Czech break in the first point? I've seen that about 70 or 80 minutes ago. Wouldn't that be interesting? Looks like we will. So Czech Republic, Terrible Monkeys are getting the first point of the game, and actually that first point of the game is also a break. Stepan Pipek to Lukáš Wild for that first score. As you know, I always like to tell you about the ranking and the differences and the season and everything what's going on with that, because this is essentially what we're playing for. Of course, it is also very high level ultimate. We love to see that. It's always interesting to see these interesting games. Yeah, it's great experience for some of these teams, even if they are not planning to play in the finals. But it's always nice to know where do you stand and how do you match up against the other teams. I think Uprising. Oh yeah, they do have 11 games actually, but they are currently sitting in 41st place before the start of this weekend, so quite low in the standings. Well, I would be curious. Terrible Monkeys sitting at 27th, so I don't think that it would be easy for either of these teams of getting up to the top 16. However, that's not the only way you can get to the finals of the EUCF. You can also get it by winning a wild card. How do you win a wild card, you might ask me? You just need to win one of these events. That's all you need to do. And oh, great bid, amazing athletic bid by Uprising, but unfortunately he did not come down with that disc, so Terrible Monkeys will have another opportunity for a break for a second in a row. So yes, basically you need to win the wild card of one of these events by winning one of these events, and that will give you an opportunity, a guaranteed opportunity, if you have 10 ranked games, which both of these teams will have when this event will have concluded. And then, yeah, maybe one of them will actually go to the finals, which will be played in Belgium later this year in September. Oh no, that is a drop. Stone just cold drop. And Uprising have a very short field to work with. They might just score it here and get their first hold on the board. Nice fakes. Can't really find anything. Ooh, difficult grab. They are very close to the end zone. Looking at the options, but can't really find anything. Squeezes one to the far sideline, and this time that was good. Very close to the line, so we couldn't really see that as closely as we wanted, but it is clearly signaled as a score. So shout out to Simura on the assisting side, and a goal for Jastrzębski. So as I said, previous matchup, Uprising has won that quite comfortably. However, it's very interesting that the ranking system is showing that Terrible Monkeys are a lot higher in the ranking at the moment. And let's put that through a matchup tool. It's going to be very interesting to see what does the almighty algorithm is thinking about it. So, Uprising. The expected score is actually towards Terrible Monkeys, 15 to 13.5, 13.54 to be exact. That would be the expected score of this game. So it looks like Terrible Monkeys have found some more maybe got some better players and picking up a few more interesting names before the end of the season. But Uprising now managing to find a disc to themselves and actually looking at the break of their own after Terrible Monkeys managed to break them on the first point. Long shot, no, not coming, not taken. This time it is. Let's see. Oh, perfect. Beautiful. Nice and beautiful. So we are back on serve as Uprising started on the first offense. Yeah, we are on serve. So 2-1. Yeah, Terrible Monkeys breaking on the first point, and the Uprising is breaking on the third point of this game. Jan Musial to Jan Hammersmith. So Jan to Jan, if we are on the first name basis, of course. But yes, nice. Should be nice and exciting game. Hammersmith, physiotherapist of Polish national team during 2019 championship in Dior. Oh yeah, we all remember this championship, but yeah, nice. Very interesting experience, of course, being a physio and now also playing our beloved sport. And Jan Musial also looks like has quite a lot of experience behind his back. And yeah, Hammersmith looks like started playing after that championship in Dior, as it was in 2019, and Jan claimed to have been playing for 4 years only. So first physio, no player. Nice. Always nice to see how people are getting dragged into the sport. And yeah, nice club experience as well. RGP Warsaw in 4 hands. A player from Warsaw, Hammersmith. But the disc is now with the Czech players, with Monkeys, who are managing to score a hold. So looks like we are now on serve, and yeah, with an emphatic kick spike. Not a fan. Please don't damage the discs. If you want to watch some other games, you are absolutely welcome to do so. There are plenty of the games that are live right now. We've got Wall City against Heidi's in Heilbronn, Steamhawk against Flow of Wrocław in Warsaw, playing in Warsaw. Jet Set Love against Sick in the women's division in Chambéry. And of course, we've got Terrible Monkeys against Uprising, surprise, which is being played in Trnava. I think this is the best game right now to watch, so stay here if you are watching that. And yes, stay with us. Unfortunately, I'm just getting some news that Chambéry stream is dead. I think there was an issue with a battery, from what I've heard. But regardless of that, yes, apologies that we can't really bring you that particular game, as it should be a nice and interesting game. But you've got 3 games happening at the same time in 3 different locations. Come on, that's also quite exciting. So stay with us. More games are coming today as well, and there is a great archive of the games. I can tell you that the previous game, despite the scoreboard, it was quite an interesting one. Nice leading pass by Terrible Monkeys for a break, but unfortunately that did not work out for them. And yeah, tell us in the chats, what do you think about this game? What do you think about the previous game? What do you think about the conditions, the AI streams, the Zoom streams, all kinds of streams? Lots of Ultimate action happening this weekend. Very, very exciting, of course, to be a part of that, because this particular weekend is important, because this is the last weekend where you can submit the games, and this is the last ranked event as well, happening all over Europe. And the previous weekend was, of course, no, I think a couple weekends ago there was an event in Malmö and Birmingham, and of course we are now playing 5 events in the 5 different places. And the long shot, nice wind up by Uprising. Is it going to be good? It is going to be. It's going to be. Some questions are going to be asked. Very emphatic celebration by the Uprising player walking around the sideline. And looks like it's going to be called out, as the monkey players, terrible monkey players, are getting close to the disc and going to set up the next offense for themselves. Long shot is elected. Probably the only option that was available was the very high stall count and a bit of a coughing corner back on that far sideline. The disc is dropped and the disc is going to be picked up by Uprising once again. So Uprising are looking at that hold, very dirty hold for sure. Multiple turnovers point, very long point here. I'm sure that both of the sides are quite tired after running here very hard. Uprising working that disc up. Nice, but until a hand of the terrible monkeys player knocked the disc away from the receiver. And yeah, 3/4 of the field, give or take, for the terrible monkeys. Long shot, nice, outside in backhand, too long. Wow, that throw had legs for sure. That was power. That was a very, very powerful shot. That will of course give the full field to work with to Uprising, which of course could be quite tricky for them. But let's see. How well will they do? And a timeout is going to be called. Unsurprising, of course. It's been a very long point by Uprising. I'm going to take a quick break as well, but don't go anywhere and stay with us. Exciting game is going to continue here.
To się zaczyna od tego, że obstawiamy obie strony, a nie wszyscy na jasno. Offense ready!
And we are back in play with the Uprising player surveying the field and making sure that There is nothing on the field that might make him slip during the pivoting. Looks like Terrible Monkey player there as well is ready to check the disc back in. Yahim is going to mark. And oof, great grab over there by the Uprising player, by Prosser. Not an easy release, and of course these discs are being pushed a little bit. There was a little bit of the wind in the previous game, but not anymore, it looks like. Uprising still working this disc up. I think that was Ratajczuk with the disc, but elects to go back and move slightly backwards. Now finds another cutter. Nice side-to-side movement by the Uprising, and now going upfield. Ooh, nice break and a great bid as well to try to bring it down. But unfortunately, I think that disc was released too low. Very, very difficult release point and a turnover. Now, Terrible Monkeys need to do it all the way back. Almost the full size of the field. Marathon point, of course, very difficult for all of the players. But sure that this is probably one of these points where you feel like you win this point and you probably get the upper hand of the game, but it's only going to be for the lead of this game. And yeah, Uprising would want to score that in order to get a hold, but no, this is going to be a break for Terrible Monkey. Yeah, you see that both of the sides are tired. The couple of Terrible Monkeys player are visibly tired and exhausted, and I'm sure they'll get a fresh line on, and this game is gonna get the intensity it deserves. Zdenek Firkle with the assist for this point, and Jakub Petril with the goal. Looks like some of the Uprising players are being a little bit upset with each other after this long marathon point that lasted 21 minutes. Wow, 1/6 of the game basically.
Hej, maj to povětru, bacha, maj to povětru. Respektuj dlouhou, nechcem jednoduchou dlouhou. Maj to povětru. Bacha habár, jo, nechce namazat, jo.
Terrible Monkey players are giving some instructions from the sideline. Panik there giving the instructions to their players and giving the suggestions as how to defend, and that disc was too quick to handle, looks like, for the receiver of Uprising, and this will give Terrible Monkeys another opportunity for a score and for a possible break once again. Close, very close to this sideline, but that was perfectly in. Petril finds Chlavat, finds Yahim, and Yahim is electing to call a timeout on the field during this point. So yeah, looks like some of the players maybe are doing the double duty and playing another point after this marathon 20-minute point. But yeah, we're going to take a timeout. I'm going to take a quick break once again, and we are going to be back with you in about a minute. See you soon.
15 seconds offense! Offense ready!
Looks like offense is ready and the disc is going to be checked in. So Uprising, hopefully they're not going to get a turnout out of this. Looks like there was a bit of a bump on the mark of Hlavac. The disc is going to be checked in once again with Yahim. Finds Hlavac. Finds Staffel. Back to Hlavac. Ooh, past the bidding defender, but that disc is still brought down by the Terrible Monkeys player. Now back to Hlavac and moving that disc very quickly. Once again, Hlavac finding that disc and surveying options, but nothing is really happening. Yeah, him with the disc, giving instructions, but goes back. Back to Yahim, Hlavac. Hlavac finding a nice open cutter in the red zone. Now knocking on the doorstep for the point over there, and there is a point from Hlavac to Gemert. Marek Gemert with the score. We are now 4-2, so another break for Terrible Monkeys. So they are now one break up essentially, and seems like that run is going to continue for the moment. As there was a first break by Terrible Monkeys, then there was a hold and a break by Uprising, and then a hold break by Terrible Monkeys to bring us to 4-2 for the moment for this game. We've got approximately 50 minutes of the game time left on the clock, so more like 40 minutes game time left. So still plenty of time, of course, to find a few breaks for Uprising in the regulation time. But of course, they wouldn't want to delay that too much and not want to wait until the very end of the game to get it and to bring us to the universe point situation that we have had in the previous game that Uprising has played. Uprising came out on top of that with a Callahan for the last point. Universe point Callahan, I still can't believe that. It's such a rare thing. Callahans are a rare thing. Universe points are not the most common thing, but a Callahan universe point is basically a unicorn. Uprising now moving that disc pretty well, getting to more or less halfway mark. Now moving the disc all the way to the other side, to that near sideline. But they are being stifled with the zone of Terrible Monkeys, and no cuts really. No spaces are being generated by the cuts, and looks like there is a bit of a double cutting, so two players are going to the same space. That's not going to help. Of course, that's exactly what the zone wants. And handlers are now working the disc pretty well and holding on to it. There were a couple of nervy passes, but so far pretty well. Blade to that near sideline. Now finally finding themselves into the attacking end zone. Attacking side. Attacking half, and a nice arcing blade there. Ooh, lots of pressure. Almost a dangerous play, but all good. No contact has been made, so Uprising now. Hammer into the end zone. Nice, very nice. Great grab over there. And yes, absolutely bravo for that throw and for that grab for Uprising Ultimate of Poland. Piotr Wraszcz was the author of that hammer, and Filip Kudlinski was on the receiving end of that score, bringing us to 4-3. Apologies for my Polish pronunciation. Yeah, sometimes some of the last names are quite difficult to read.
15 seconds offense.
Feel free to correct me, of course, in the chats. I would be more than happy to read your corrections and do my best to bring the correct pronunciation onto the future points. Elsewhere on the fields of Trnava, we have 3SB and Armada. 3SB are up 6-2 at the moment. Ketchup Grass, FWD forward 6-3 for Ketchup. And Outsitters against Panthers Wroclaw. All of the games are played in open division. It is now tied up at 5-5. And Terrible Monkeys 4-3 against Uprising Ultimate, the game that you are watching with me right now. Terrible Monkeys trying to find an option, but no, yeah, just going with a bit of a give and go and 1-2. Nice, very quick movement. They look to be comfortable with it. And yeah, that brings them to another hold, another clean hold. Szczepanik to Hlavac for that 5-3 score.
Takie rzeczy się zdarzają, ale to trzeba
Jan Hlavac, the point scorer for that point, is said to look for hucks from him, as he is, of course, an offensive handler. And yeah, he's been playing for 7 years, and he's got plenty of ultimate experience of Czech mixed as well, national experience in EUC 2023, Czech U17 in 2017, and U20 Open. Only 23 years of age, but already 7 years of playing experience. Always exciting to see very experienced players being still quite young, relatively young for that. So yeah, Uprising once again with an offense, but looks like there is a bit of a discussion. No, not really. Just a very slow coming offense. Defense. Maybe sagging off a little bit and trying to find some opportunities in a long shot. I don't think that it might be. Oh no, it is perfect. Wow, very nice. It looked to have a slightly wrong edge, but it was pretty well handled by the Uprising players there, and into the end zone for a score. Nice. So Uprising holding once again. Wrzacz to Prosser for that clean hold score. Yeah, looks like both of the teams have finally settled a little bit, so a bit of a trading off going on after a couple of breaks and runs, and yeah, but now 3 clean holds so far by both sides. And we are probably getting close to the halftime, which I'm sure is going to be upon us, and our timekeepers are going to let us know very quickly how much time is left in the first half. Games, of course, are played to 15 points, 70-minute games, so slightly shorter games than the general 50 regulation, which is normally 100 minutes. But we have seen a few teams going to 15, of course, in 70 minutes. Terrible Monkeys now looking for some resets, finding them. Far sideline, long shot into the end zone. Let's see if it's good. 2 defenders under it and only 1 offensive player who's got a better read. One of the defensive players, so Uprising get the disc back and looking at their break once again. They already had a break against the Terrible Monkeys side, but they would need 2 this time, as this is the lead that they have. Looks like a foul is going to be called, but I think, in my personal opinion, from looking at it for the first time, Uprising player was jumping a little bit in the way of the defender, and the defender had the position already. However, seems like it's going to be accepted. My perspective, of course, could be very different from those of the players on the field. Regardless, the disc is back with Uprising. We are marching, trying to march into the end zone on the left side of your screens. That outside in pass, nice, very nice, very precise pass. Another one close to the sideline. Looks like it's going to be discussed, and people are looking at the markings on the grass, maybe. So yeah, we can hear the discussion. I'm sure it is out. Is the perspective of the Terrible Monkeys player, while Uprising is giving their own perspective on the sideline and saying that it was out. Considering that their own players are giving the perspective that the disc was out, maybe it would be a good idea to agree, but looks like it's going to be contested. Interesting. Well, okay, players on the field decide. What are they going to do? Apologies for some technical issues there that you may have. But Uprising, that was the disc moving backwards. Once again, another backwards pass, but now finding an all-alone player in the middle of the zone. And looks like it's going to be a break for the Uprising. So they are getting one of the breaks back. So Tsiolkovsky to Boguszewski for that score. So we are in the 5-5 situation. Uprising is still 1 break down, as they have started their first point on offense, of course, and that was a break. So they should actually be up by 1, which is, of course, not the case. Tsiolkovsky, the player who assisted this point, was, of course, the author of the Universe Point Callahan in the previous game of Uprising against I think it was Armada, yes, against Armada. Christian Tsiolkovsky is only 19 years of age and already got his first Callahan. Congratulations, nice. Very good. And Boguszewski. A defensive cutter, of course, and He started playing Ultimate just because it is fun. Very nice. I love that description. Only 17 years of age as well, and looks like he started with quite a young age, as he was playing for about 5.5 years already. Wow. I would love to have started player when I was 12. And apologies for some cuts in our streams, but you can clearly see that the Terrible Monkeys player was quite comfortably in this point, and that stops the bleeding a little bit. So they gave one break to Uprising, and probably going to try to get one more to themselves. So this is 6-5, clean hold by Terrible Monkeys of the Czech Republic. And, yeah, we've got approximately half an hour of game time left. And the next on Trnava stream, we are going to have another showdown between East Block and 3SB. Oh, this is going to be an exciting game. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm not commentating on that, but I will most probably watch it on the live streams, as it's going to be a thriller, I'm pretty sure. Probably going to be for the first place in the group. I think East Block are doing pretty well in the tournament so far. I think 3SB are winning every game as well. So this is one game that I would love to watch, as it's going to be against the teams from the same country. So I'm sure that all of them are going to know each other really well. And it looks like we've got a halftime situation in our hands on in this particular game. I'm pretty sure that it was because of the time, as the score is only 6-5. So essentially, as the previous point was a 5-5, it was a Galaxy point. Nice. Exciting. Is it going to be a Universe point as well? Who knows? It is very likely. As, of course, the expected score, according to the ranking system, according to the ranking up, is going to be 13.54 to 15. So if we round it up, 15-14 Universe point, why not? Wouldn't that be exciting? But let's, of course, not get ahead of ourselves. And let's get to this game and let's see what's going to happen. Extremely long pull by the Uprising, and a brick has been called by Terrible Monkeys. Unsurprising, as the player is walking towards that brick. First of the cutters. Yeah, great cut by Flavac over there. Is one of the handlers. Whoa, that was threading the needle, and well held on by Stepanik. Oh, whoa, that is some next level communication by Terrible Monkeys. I'd say it was a little bit dangerous, but I mean, still works. Let's see if they're gonna score another clean hold to themselves. Difficult reception once again, and great bid as well, but Hlavac with another score to his name from Tadeusz Grimm. So that is another clean hold for them, as they have started on the defense. Now they started the second half on offense. So clean hold, good start of the second half with a 2-point lead. 25 minutes of game time, and I can bring you a few updates from the other fields of Trnava. 3SB are up on Armada 10-3. Ketchup Grass are up on Forward 7-4. And Outsitters, the home team, Slovakian team, are up on Panthers 8-6. So some interesting games happening here. in Leicester. Looks like there are no live games at the moment. And I'll tell you all about the other locations after this point and between the points, while Uprising are moving the disc up and looking to hold before they can have an opportunity for a break. Oh my god, that is so unfortunate. Looks like on a fake, the handler there has released the disc by himself, so that disc virtually went nowhere, and that gave a very short field to Terrible Monkeys, just 2 or 3 passes, and yeah, clearly that player is visibly upset because, yeah, when the disc just slips out of your hand as you're faking, that is so unfortunate, and of course for the Uprising player. And yes, giving a break, not an easy thing, of course, to swallow after that. So that's been 3 points in a row for Terrible Monkeys. Hlubočki to Hladik for that break. 8-5. I assume we've got a timeout on the field. And no, looks like it's just a longer huddle. I apologize. Regardless, we're going to continue this game. And offense should be ready. Uprising side, that would be. Wow, look at that closing speed of the Terrible Monkeys player. He was ready to pounce on that disc. But looks like the rest of his team maybe wasn't quite there, so gave away a couple of free passes. So Uprising, yeah, working that disc in that triangle, handling triangle pretty well. No real advancing passes available. Difficult grab, but holds on to it. And long shot, not taken. Great fake though. This time it is, but it might be. Ooh, yeah, the defender was hunting for it for sure, but looks like the offensive player there on the Uprising side had a much better read on that. So Kudlinski with a great read of that disc, and Machevsky with a visionary throw all the way in the end zone, cross field, basically brings us to 8-6 as a result of this game. Of course, this game is not over, not a final result. We still got about 21 minutes of game time left. And yeah, great event, of course, here in Trnava. Exciting games, but we also got some exciting games elsewhere in Europe. At the moment, we've got a break, looks like, in Freiburg, in Chambéry. We've got 3 ongoing games in Chambéry. So Sick against Jet Set Love. Sick is up 8-5. Tequila Boom Boom against Queen Kong 8-4. And Wolf against Zoo Swarm 11-5. I think these are all women's division games. Yes, they are women's division games. So very nice. And in the mixed division in Warsaw, at the moment, 3 ongoing games. Steamhawk from Turkey against Flow Wroclaw. Steamhawk is down 7-9. Heroes Flying Disc from Hungary are down on Sky Disc Warsaw 7-8. And Mosquitoes are up on Savage Ultimate 9-5. And in this game, we've got Terrible Monkeys with a long shot, basically coast to coast for another score. and great celebration. 9, that brings us to 9-6. Exciting shot. Great shot, visionary shot. I can't really describe it in any other way. Oh, apologies. Looks like this shot was actually too long. Looks like Uprising are actually setting their offense. So yeah, that resulted in a turnover. Yeah, visionary throw, maybe a little bit too visionary, or maybe too much power under it. So yeah, that brings us to an Uprising opportunity for a break. So far, they can't really get out of their own end zone. Callahan territory. They have scored a Callahan. I don't think that they would wish that upon themselves as well. And now they're safely out of their own end zone, working that disc to the other side, to the other half of the field. And oh, great, perfect shot, amazing shot, nice and clean shot. And, Uprising with some celebrations on the field. We're getting a break back, so we are now at 8-7.
8-7.
Wescinski to Tylkowski for the score. So Tylkowski now scoring not a Callahan, but just a mere point. Probably he would be more exciting of scoring Callahans all the time, but not this time. So we have had a halftime. We've got about 18 minutes left of regulation time, and of course we're going to play to a cap. It's going to be, all the games are going to be soft capped. So let's see what is that going to bring us towards. We did have a galaxy point. Are we going to see a universe? Who knows? Who knows? Stay with us and you will find out, of course. The other games in Trnava in the open division, we've got 3SB up on Armada 10-5, Catch Up Grass up on Forward 8-4, and Outsitters up on Panthers 10-7. And here we've got a brick, so the disc is going to be brought up by 18 meters if we have a full-size field. Normally the brick length is the same as the end zone. And visionary throw, but well held on to by the Terrible Monkeys. Nice fakes, but also good marking pressure as well. Nice leading pass over there. And oh no, a drop. Oh no. Very unfortunate for Terrible Monkeys. That will give an opportunity for an equalizer for Uprising. Let's see if they will take it. A long cut is available, but the shot is not taken. Shorter shot is taken now, and a hammer. Oof, crossfield hammer. Never an easy thing to do. You always think that you're under pressure, but looks like Uprising Ultimate don't know what the pressure is at this moment. They are now on that far sideline, being pushed, electing to go backwards, and I think there was a bit of a bump on the mark. No, looks like a travel has been called. The disc is back in. Nice to see not so many calls that were insignificant in this game as well. And the timeout has been called by Uprising. Hopefully it's not going to turn out for them, but yeah. I'll take a quick break as well, and don't go anywhere. This match, I'm sure, is going to get even more exciting. Don't go anywhere and stay in Trnava.
Ile jsem povedal? 53, 40? No.
30 seconds offense.
Ja mám pišťalku, ty vole. A bakohu.
Dáš sem?
Ale nevím, že se dá do dole.
But 15 seconds offense.
Ale nejde na dole. Asi. Chceš pískat celou kabelu?
Offense ready. Ne, mám to pičovinu.
Dominik, masz żebyśmy nie stracili z meczu.
Tak písni 3krát.
Ne, druhej. Dobra, raz klasko.
Dwa spisknąć. Aby jsem čuval svoje.
And not a turnout for Uprising, but a one-shot pass, a set play for their offense for a nice one-shot goal and a break back, which gets us to 8-8. So looks like Uprising has decided to go on a run of their own. So 2 breaks in a row for them. 3 points in a row, essentially. Yeah, good job, of course, for them after that timeout. Once again, fairly long point of just 5 minutes, and yeah, apologies for the earlier one. That marathon point that you have seen in the first half, it wasn't 21 minutes, of course, it was the game time, but that point was still approximately 10 minutes long. So yes, also a difficult one to run for sure for the players. This point, however, again, also quite long, with a timeout taken during the point, so five minutes or so, and approximately 12 minutes of regulation time left. The final of this match is looking to be promising, and let's see if Terrible Monkeys will actually find some gears and will manage to run away and prove the algorithm to be correct and repeat the upset of the previous game, or if Uprising have other plans and maybe got a bit more energized after that Callahan grab in the previous game against Armada. For the moment, Terrible Monkeys, as you can see, are working their way all the way to the red zone. But now stall count is rising, I'm sure, but that is unimportant. Or it is. Is there a stall out being called on the field? There might be, as that disc was in the hands of the player for quite a long time. And that is signaled to be a score. So good spirit all around. Martin Wild to Jan Hlavac. Jan Hlavac has been a pivotal player, of course, on that offensive side of Terrible Monkeys. So 9-8. Terrible Monkeys still have the upper hand of the offensive reception if we are going to go to the universe point situation, but we are virtually on serve. Are we? No, we're not. No, we're not. Uprising started on the offense, but Terrible Monkey scored the first break. So yes.
Offense ready!
Ej, defense, pijcie wodę, zaraz wchodzicie na maksa, nie?
The other games, as you can hear, are also quite exciting there. Some celebrations all around. And a long shot for Uprising. Unfortunately not handled very well, and that will give Terrible Monkeys another opportunity for a break after that score. Elsewhere on the fields, 3SB against Armada 13-6. Ketchup Grass against Forward 9-5. And Outsiders Panther is 11-7. This is the closest game, of course, on the fields of Trnava. Let's see how it's gonna be negotiated in the closing stages. Nice leading pass to the Terrible Monkeys player on that far sideline, but that was unfortunately dropped there, or I think no, that was rather a defensive player just stepped in of the Uprising, and Uprising will be looking to capitalize on an offense. A hammer, ooh, too far and too fast. That was for the player to get his hands around it, but that will give an opportunity once again to Terrible Monkeys for that break. All important break, I'm sure, in the closing stages of the game. I will put a bit more pressure on the Uprising. Everyone's requesting the sideline to give some space. To be fair for everyone, always nice to see the players reacting that without being yelled at. Yeah. Terrible Monkeys are moving that disc pretty well so far, and that near sideline, and ooh, very, very unpleasant. Yeah, I think he's got a little bit, probably a back or maybe a thigh. There was a bit of a bump as the player was coming in for that defense. Yeah, visibly slightly upset, and yeah, does not feel comfortable, that player. But that was a fairly dangerous bit, in my opinion. Yeah, Terrible Monkeys are gonna have possession of the disc here. I'm gonna continue that movement. Lateral passes so far. Can't really find any space upfield. As I'm saying that, they are working almost all the way up to the red zone. Now in the red zone and knocking on the doorstep of another break. And they get it. That looked almost easy for them. But I'm sure it was not. So 10-8. Lukasz Wild to Petr Chladik for that score. Yeah, you can see that the body language of the Uprising players have visibly changed. They look to be a little bit tired and maybe a bit upset of conceding another break, but they are not that far off, actually. I hope they can get their heads back in the game and get nice and close. And so that we will get nice and exciting finish of this game with approximately 5 minutes left of the regulation time. These Terrible Monkeys are getting ready to pull. Pull is up. But sailing out of bounds and going to be brought at a brick mark. judging by the outstretched hand of the Uprising player. We are checked in. We're back in play. Some of the cuts. Oh no! Did he mistake the Terrible Monkeys player for his own? And yeah, after that pass, there was quite a lot of contact, I would say. Probably a slap on the hands or on the wrists. Yeah, the Terrible Monkeys player is looking to be visibly uncomfortable. Maybe a finger or something. And nice to see the Uprising player there providing assistance to the opposing player. The disc is going to be checked in regardless by Wild to Staffel, and Staffel into the end zone for another break. So Staffel to Wild to Staffel for a quick break for an 11-8.
Na początku stałeś na backhand, nie? Ja.
As we are getting really close to the last minutes of this game, I'm sure that the pressure is rising, and no timeouts are being called so far, for the moment at least. And Terrible Monkeys gonna have an opportunity of just trading the rest of the game and be quite comfortable with it, get a comfortable 3-point lead in a 3-point game, which would of course be quite beneficial for their hopes of jumping into the top 16. If they want to do that, they would need to perform better than it is expected by the almighty algorithm, and so far they are doing it quite successfully, as the expected score of this matchup is 15 to 13.54, and yeah, still 2-point margin, so still doing better than predicted. And unfortunately for the Uprising, they are doing worse than, of course, predicted by the algorithm, so that game might bring them and pull them a little bit lower than expected. So Uprising was the score, brings us to 11-8, 11-9, apologies. We've got Kudlinski to Gliwa for that score. Very quick score. I think it only lasted about 40 seconds or so. Just a few passes and a nice clean hold for them. Great work, of course, by all the organizers, by all the people who are bringing us the streams and the AI streams, of course, and the Zoom TV in Warsaw. And of course, always nice to see the timekeepers keeping us informed about the time limits and other important parts of the game. Always nice to hear that on the sidelines. And oh no, miscommunication by Terrible Monkeys, and that will give a golden opportunity for the Uprising to get it even closer. Looks like there's been a call on the field. Not sure what the call is. I think they could have just picked the disc up and play, but that's not really what happened. Maybe a bit of a pick. And the disc is called in. Uprising with a blade into the end zone, and for a break of their own. Nice leading pass. 11-10, bringing it back within 1. Of course, still a difficult situation for Uprising, but after that particular point, yeah, looks like everything is possible, and maybe even a universe point, very likely. A bit of a game of runs, and I just heard the word timeout from our timekeeper. And the time is over, so depending on who's going to score the next point, it's going to be either a game to 12 and a universe point right away, or it's going to be a game to 13 in case Terrible Monkey is going to score. Monkeys. Let's see what's going on in the other games. In Trnava, being played at the same time slot. So 3SB comfortably winning Armada 15-6. Ketchup Grass are up on Forward 11-7, and Outsitters are up on Panthers 12-8. So yeah, this is definitely the closest game on the rest of the fields. And next up, over here on this particular stream, we are going to have 3SB against East Block. Exciting match. Very excited to watch that. Definitely going to get myself onto the live streams and watch this particular game. Box Vienna gonna take on Outsitters, and Fabulous gonna get on Troubles. So we'll see how it all gonna play out. But for now, we're gonna get back to this game where Terrible Monkeys are being called a bit of a travel, looks like. Despite, oh no, looks like a foul, a bit of a push-off by the Terrible Monkeys player. I think it was number 5, Stepanik. And this time he's receiving, no, wasn't him, but regardless. Disc is now on the far sideline. In the attacking side. Let's see if we're gonna get a game to 12 or a game to 13. Oof, close. Good fight for the disc, but that is a score for Terrible Monkey. So game to 13 we've got in our hands, and the score is now 12-10. So for Uprising, slightly more difficult task for them. Wyszynski to Simura for that previous score, and now Uprising need to score and break to see that game out. Apologies, that was the previous score, of course, Wyszynski to Smira, but for the Terrible Monkeys, 12-10 score, Zvelebil to Billy for it. And yes, Uprising would need to score, as in hold, and then break and break in order to see this game out. They've done that before in the beginning of the second half, so let's see if they still have it in their bags, if they still have energy to run, and if they can still figure out how to generate some turnovers from the Terrible Monkey side, which was not easy. Looks like Terrible Monkeys have been fairly comfortable during the whole game, and the Uprising body language, yeah, at times it looked a little bit difficult, and sometimes some of their players were maybe arguing with each other, so always nice, of course, to keep the heads nice and cool and to think about the game rather than to think about the each other's mistakes and yell at each other. So far, Uprising doing pretty well. Yeah, working around that offense and leaving one of the players completely free. But now, finally, the defense setting up, making the movement of the disc a lot harder. And was that a scuba? Oh, wow. Fancy, very fancy for a score. So 11-12, game to 13. And Terrible Monkeys are going to receive. Let's see if Uprising will manage to get a break, as this is exactly what they need here and now. We're officially out of time, and the next round should start in about 4 minutes. So we'll see how quickly we will finish this particular game, but very likely that the next game of 3SB and East Block is going to start on time, so don't go anywhere. Probably you won't even have a break to get yourself another drink, another tea, another coffee, a snack. I don't know. So maybe get on it now? No, don't do that now, as the end of this game is probably going to be quite exciting. Let's see what's gonna happen with the Terrible Monkeys over there and the Uprising. Terrible Monkeys gonna call Brick, pretty sure, and gonna bring that disc at approximately 18 meters upfield. I'm gonna start in a very nice place of the field, which of course will probably make it a little bit easier for them. Quick give and go of the disc and the roof, finding some unorthodox cutters over there and unorthodox windows, and the really quick movements and into the end zone. Is it going to be good? It is just fine, and looks like it's called in, so it's going to be 13-11 with a little bit of a celebration over there of number 7. So great game, exciting game. That was close, very close. We've got a Galaxy point, but no Universe point. Unfortunately, Uprising, after winning the previous Universe point, could not bring this game to Universe. So thank you very much for listening. I've been Dmitry Doroshenko. Stay up for the next game between 3SB and East Block, and I'll hear you all tomorrow. Thank you for listening. Take care and goodbye.